No, man. Freddie was so close. The game just ended. This is a live reaction. But he was so close. He had Vucevic in the blender. He just had to hit that three. Oh my god, if he hit that three, it would have been nuts. That place would have exploded. Alright, well, let's get into the video. Am I becoming a Raptors fan? Nah, no way. Jalen Green for life. But man, is this team really fun to watch when they turn up the goddamn intensity. If only Freddie made that shot, it would have been ballistic in the arena. The game started off fine, but in the second and third quarter, the Bulls were absolutely dominating the Raptors both offensively and defensively. Their defense led to offense. Their execution on offense allowed them to set up on defense. Their cycle was continuous and brutal. They were putting it to the Raptors and got up to a 20-point lead twice. However, when it seemed like the game was going to get out of hand and pretty much replicate the game against the Wizards, Nick Nurse once again put in Delano Banton. It is kinda odd that once again his presence kind of changed the game. His stat line does not do justice to his impact on the floor and the game, kinda like Alex Caruso. He only played 5 minutes, but they were huge because it got the ball rolling for the rest of the team. And then from there on, the Raptors started clawing their way back into the game. All of a sudden, they were playing incredible defense and forcing misses from the Bulls. I mean, even Lonzo Ball, who was killing the Raptors from 3, started to miss his shots. The defense started to get tighter and more physical, which led to some easy buckets on the offensive end. Although he missed the last shot, Freddie was the king in the fourth quarter. He was relentless both offensively and defensively. As a whole, he had 15 points, 17 assists, which was a career high for my boy, 6 rebounds, and 2 steals, although it felt like he had way more than that. You could tell, especially in the beginning of the game, that Lonzo's height, length, and athleticism was bothering Fred to the point where he stopped taking any shots when he drove with Lonzo on his hip and instead kept looking for passes, which led to his amazing assist total. In fact, majority of his points came when he was guarded by anyone other than Lonzo. I won't lie, his 8 turnovers hurt. He had some critical ones down the stretch as well, but without him, the game would have never been close. Once his shot comes back, and I promise you it will come back, they will start winning more games. However, this game also made me realize how important it is to have a go-to star on your team. Once again, DeMar was being lethal in the regular season, just like when he was on the Raptors. He was super clutch for the Bulls, and the Raptors made him work for every single clutch bucket, and he was making some tough shots. That is what a team needs to close games, and unfortunately the Raptors' closer is out. It is crazy to think that the Raptors were almost able to win this game against one of the hottest teams in the NBA without their best player. However, OG Anunoby did his best to fill the void of a go-to player, and I hope that the last shot would have gone to him instead of Freddie. He was awesome tonight, putting up 22 points, 8 rebounds, 5 assists, and 2 steals, while shooting a clean 8 for 17 from the field and 4 for 8 from the 3. He let the game come to him, and he did not force any bad shots like he was in the first 2 games. The most impressive part was his facilitating, especially early in the ball game. He was key in the first quarter of making sure the game was close. More importantly, he hit some big time shots in their comeback attempt and was key for a half-court offense that was lacking a linear direction. He was not only the big shot maker for the team though. Gary Trent Jr. showed up tonight with an impressive 18 points on 7 for 15 shooting from the field and 4 for shooting from the 3. It seems as though Gary Trent is going to be on and off game to game, but that's just how he is. However, if he can become that steady shooter, which I know he can be, he can develop into an invaluable player for the Raptors both now and for their future. On top of his shooting, he has been awesome on the defensive end of the court. He still has some mental lapses here and there, but for the most part, he has been a revolution compared to his days in Portland. Honestly, big up the Raptors coaching staff because they turned it around for him. I have mentioned in almost every video, but once again, Precious Achiuwa had another double-double. He led the Raptors in an amazing rebounding effort where they out-rebounded the Bulls by 20 fucking rebounds. You heard that right. Their rebounding was the only reason they were able to stay in this game and make it even closer. And truth be told, I really couldn't tell that they were rebounding so well until I saw the box score. It is really impressive what they did as a collective, especially in this department of the game. He also did a pretty good job on Vucevic, essentially making him irrelevant from the paint, as a majority of his points came off of mid-range spot-ups. Scottie Barnes, everyone's favorite rookie, had an off game. He did some nice things like that spin around slam that got me out of my chair, and then he did some rookie things like some of those errant passes. However, my biggest takeaway is that if he learns and develops the confidence in that prototypical point guard pocket pass on the pick and roll, he can unlock a whole new dimension to his game. There were so many instances where he ran the pick and roll and all he had to do was make a simple, basic pocket pass and would have been an easy slam for the roll man. But for some reason, he just didn't see it tonight. If he can develop that, he will be lethal and it will unlock a whole new dimension. I hope the end of the game momentum carries forward to the next game against the Pacers, who they face on Wednesday. Once again, they're going up against a pretty good team who are also 1-3, so this will pretty much be a dogfight. Hopefully they can find a way to stop Sabonis, who has not missed a beat from last season, and do it without Siakam.